Hey y'all, welcome back and welcome to day 5 of my 12 days of cookies. Today I have some double chocolate macaroons. And the great part about this recipe is it's already veganized. And I have made these several times. People say how good they are. It's not my recipe. I will let you know whose recipe it is. The recipe is by Rachel Connors. Her blog, I believe, is bakerita.com. I will link her website down below. I got this recipe off a magazine, so I don't know if she has it on her website. If she does, again, I'll leave the link down below. But yes, I have made these cookies. They are delicious. They do require some special ingredients, but I think it's worth it. I mean, if you love chocolate, you're gonna love these. I like chocolate, I don't love it, so I can eat maybe one of these and be satisfied. And again, it's already vegan, so you don't have to replace anything. It's already done for you. Alright, if you're interested in this cookie recipe, keep watching.
For this recipe, you will need unsweetened shredded coconut, almond flour, Dutch processed cocoa powder, pure maple syrup, and this is a special ingredient that I was talking about. It is raw coconut butter, and coconut butter is different from coconut oil. Coconut butter is made from the flesh of the coconut that is pureed into a paste. So it looks dry like this, but you can melt it and it's going to look milky, kind of like coconut milk. But there is a difference. I don't recommend trying to substitute this product. So this is what it looks like when it's melted. And we're also going to need some vanilla extract and kosher salt. Okay, first thing you're going to do is make sure you have your oven preheating to 275 degrees Fahrenheit, and also prepare 2 baking sheets with parchment paper. So we're going to start off by mixing all the dry ingredients together. So the shredded coconut, almond flour, cocoa powder, and salt. And we're just going to whisk it together. Make sure to whisk the dry ingredients in a large bowl because we're going to add in our liquids to that to make our batter. And I realized I forgot to mention that we also need some unsweetened dairy-free chocolate. I didn't have unsweetened, I just used regular chocolate chips. And I melted them in the microwave so that it can be ready to mix in with our other liquid ingredients. So we're going to mix in the melted chocolate, maple syrup, melted coconut butter, and that's it, I believe. And we're just going to mix that until well combined. And I almost forgot, we're also going to add in the vanilla to that. Once you get all your wet ingredients well combined, you can add them to the dry mixture, and you're just going to mix until all the coconut is covered in that liquidy chocolate. And this is where I suspected that I did something wrong, because I have made this recipe before and I couldn't remember if the cookie batter was supposed to be this loose, but I went with it anyways because I was thinking maybe I just don't remember it being this liquidy, and maybe I just did it right. And there was nothing to worry about. And once I started scooping them, I noticed that there was definitely something wrong, but again, I just went with it because I didn't want to make this batter again. Since I used that coconut butter, I did not want to waste any of it. The only thing that I did different with this recipe that I could think of that would make it this runny was that I used a scale to measure my ingredients rather than cups. I just recently got a scale, so I've been trying to use it more because I think it is a lot easier to use a scale for baking than it is to grab a million cups to measure out all the ingredients. And I might have put it on the wrong setting. I don't know if I did ounces or grams. But yeah, the weight definitely did not work for me in this recipe. If I do it again, I'm just going to stick to measuring cups because I'm not quite sure if the conversion rate was right. I just followed whatever the magazine said, but again, it could have been my mistake. I could have just had it on the wrong setting and did ounces instead of grams. So for reference, your cookie batter should not look like this. It should definitely hold its shape and be a little bit more on the dry side. Not completely dry, just a little bit drier so that it holds its shape. And they should look like perfect little round mounds. Also, I am using a 1.5 tablespoon cookie scoop in case you were wondering how big to make these. I've tried making them smaller in the past, but I honestly think for macaroons you kind of want them to be a good size. Once you have all your cookies scooped out, you're going to place them in the oven and bake them for 15 minutes. Then you're going to rotate the pan and bake them for an additional 10 minutes or until the tops of the cookies are dry to the touch. And these are my quote-unquote macaroons. They luckily didn't turn crispy. The tops did dry to the touch, but I could tell that they were still nice and chewy, so they remained that macaroon texture. Once the cookies were cooled, I melted some dark chocolate in the microwave. If you don't have a piping bag, you can just place the chocolate in a plastic baggie and snip the little corner off, and you can just drizzle it on top of your cookies. The final step is to sprinkle some flaked sea salt on top of the cookies, and it is optional because I know that sea salt can get a little bit pricey, but if you are looking for one, Trader Joe's has it pretty cheap, and it's not the greatest quality flake sea salt, but it does the job. And honestly, topping it off with that little bit of salt just brings all that chocolatey goodness flavor together. Even though my macaroons didn't quite turn out the way they were supposed to, the flavor was still there, as was the texture, and we ate all of these because they were delicious. I do highly recommend making this recipe. It is one of my favorites. I always go to this recipe because it's a crowd pleaser. A lot of people love chocolate, so this one definitely satisfies the chocolate lovers. So that is it for this video. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And if you haven't already, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe and all that fun stuff. And I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you here next time. Bye!